Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. Today we're diving into a disturbing case out of San Diego, California, a police shooting that left a 16-year-old boy dead, sparking outrage and serious questions about the Fourth Amendment. This incident happened on January 28, 2025, but the details and body cam footage were just released last week, and they shine a spotlight on something that is very common in police shootings across the country. Let's break it down step by step and figure out what this means for your rights.
Tonight, dozens joined a candlelight vigil held for 16-year-old Kanoa Stephen Wilson. Now, for the first time, we're seeing the moments leading up to a San Diego police officer shooting and killing the 16-year-old downtown.
On the night of January 28th, San Diego police officers were already downtown, responding to an unrelated call near the Santa Fe Depot trolley platform. That's when they heard gunfire, shots ringing out in the distance. Multiple security cameras captured the shooting incident that happened. 16-year-old juvenile Kanoa Wilson can be seen walking through a corridor in the Santa Fe Depot. When that 16-year-old juvenile reached the train platform, there was a confrontation that ensued between him and two other individuals. One of those individuals, also a 16-year-old juvenile, pulls out a gun and fires multiple shots towards Wilson, who then begins to run away, obviously fearing for his life. Approximately 30 seconds before the shooting incident, San Diego police officer Matthew Gold, who had been on the force for 2 years, exited his patrol car on the Kettner Boulevard side of the Santa Fe Depot. As the shots were being fired, another officer, only identified as officer number 1, broadcast the following over the radio.
24th, I got shots fired. Again, I got shots fired over at Santa Fe Depot.
After hearing only that snippet of what was broadcast over the radio by officer number 1, and also hearing the sound of the gunfire, Officer Matthew Gold then ran towards the Santa Fe corridor. And unbeknownst to him, this 16-year-old juvenile, who is fleeing for his life, is running in the opposite direction, coming directly towards him. Officer Gold arrived at the corridor entrance at about the exact same time as the juvenile, who again is running away from the shooting incident. As they're about to collide, now Officer Gold's body cam is on and we can hear the audio of what was said and also what was unsaid. Woo! He's clearly running away from something. It would be reasonable to believe that he's running away from the incident where the shots were fired. The officer does not know anything about the shooting. He only heard the shots. He heard the radio call from the other officer who heard the shots.
24th, I got shots fired. Again, I got shots fired over at Santa Fe Depot.
He sees an unknown individual running away, does not observe a firearm or any other weapon, does not observe any sort of threatening moves or behavior by this unknown individual, yet makes the split-second decision to shoot him without saying a word. After the kid was shot, he kept running and he screams out in distress, and then he disappears behind the police cruiser.
San Diego Police!
Only after that happens did the first words come out of Officer Gold's mouth, when he quickly said San Diego Police Department.
San Diego Police!
Now here's the reason why I included an asterisk, whatever the hell those things are, in the initial graphic when I said unarmed. After he was shot, medical treatment begins. Then the cops find a gun inside his clothing.
I got a firearm. Okay, gun. Got a gun.
Hey, easy with the gun. Easy with the gun. Easy with the gun. Easy with the gun.
Okay. Hey, 24 yellow, firearm recovered.
As far as I can tell, it's undisputed that no police officer observed that firearm until after the shooting had already occurred. Yet, what is the main thing that law enforcement already, before the investigation is completed, wants you, the public, to know about the shooting? That they found a gun. And if you look at the local news stories, half of the comments say a 16-year-old shouldn't have had a gun. There's two problems with that. One, it's legally irrelevant because the officer did not observe that gun, which, by the way, was not fired. Total non-issue, legally speaking. It's just in the court of public opinion, the cops are saying, look, at least we shot somebody who had a gun who shouldn't have had a gun. But my second point is, this kid was just shot at. Who's to say he did not need a gun? Let's take the 16-year-old fact out. The officer didn't know he was 16 at the time. People can legally carry concealed pistols in California. Looking at it objectively, not knowing his age, he's running away from being shot at. Perhaps he did need a gun. So here that's a complete red herring. What is actually relevant to the courts? Under the Fourth Amendment, the police can't just shoot you because they're scared. The Supreme Court laid this out in Tennessee versus Garner back in 1985. Deadly force is only justified if the police officer has probable cause to believe the suspect poses an immediate threat of death or serious bodily harm to the officer or others. Then there's Graham versus Connor from 1989, which says that the reasonableness of force depends on the totality of the circumstances, the severity of the crime, whether there's immediate danger, and whether the suspect is resisting or fleeing. So here's the setup. Shots are fired somewhere. This 16-year-old is running away from the area where those shots came from. Officer Gold doesn't see him shoot, doesn't see a gun in his hand, and doesn't give any clear warning before shooting this kid. Kanoa's not charging at him. He's clearly just trying to get out of there as soon as possible. So where's the immediate threat? The Ninth Circuit, which covers California, has ruled on many cases like this before. And they've said it time and time again. Shooting a fleeing suspect without a clear and immediate danger to somebody violates the Fourth Amendment. In AKH versus City of Tustin 2016, cops shot a guy walking away after reports of shots fired, no gun in hand. The court said it could be excessive. In Cruz versus Anaheim 2014, the suspect fled. He reached for his waistband, allegedly, got shot. No gun was found on him. The Ninth Circuit said that a jury could find that that was a Fourth Amendment violation, depending on whether or not they actually believed the cop's claim that he went for his waistband. Because if he didn't, that definitely is a Fourth Amendment violation. Hayes versus County of San Diego 2013 and George versus Morris of 2013 both hammered this home. No clear danger, no justification. Bottom line, if an officer hears shots, sees you running, and pulls the trigger without seeing a crime or a threat, like what we see happen to Kanoa Wilson, it's almost certainly going to be a Fourth Amendment violation. And the federal courts and the Ninth Circuit are almost certainly going to deny qualified immunity to any officer who shoots under those circumstances. The Ninth Circuit is clear. Fleeing alone does not greenlight deadly force, even if an officer hears shots. So this shooting has drawn scrutiny for good reason. The San Diego Sheriff's Office is investigating, and the community is now demanding answers.
This officer needs to be held accountable for not taking protocol into consideration and not being aware of what he was actually doing.
Tonight, a vigil was held downtown. People set out candles, photos, and messages in honor of Kanoa Stephen Wilson.
We're going to miss him, but this is how we remember him.
Was this a tragic mistake, a rush to judgment, or something worse? What do you think if you were on the jury and you watched this body cam footage? Was this shooting justified, or did it cross the line and violate the Fourth Amendment? Drop your thoughts in a comment. If you want more breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.